Welcome back, barbarians. In today's video, we're going to be taking a close look at a very special Warlock build that I believe to be S tier for fun, but also utility. This build that we're going to go over is insane. It has so much fun. You can have so much fun in any activity. It's PvE really focused, and it's focused around one of the new changes for clearly the Dawnblade subclass. But before we hop into it, go ahead and make sure to smash that like button. That greatly helps me out. So the build we're going to be talking about today is actually using Bottom Tree Dawnblade and the explosiveness from that, and its ability to proc with your either your grenade or your melee energy. Now, before we take a deep dive into what the build is, what I'm using, in the background gameplay here, you can notice it in action. The explosions, the damage from necrotic grips, which is key for this build in order to chain poison from target to target, and also the explosions from target to target. So this build actually allows you to chain both the explosions and the poison from target to target. So hopping into it, I'm using Thorn as my weapons, Cartesian coordinate, and linear fusion rifle. Necrotic grip here. Starting with elemental ordnance, so essentially defeating someone with a grenade of your matching subclass provides a well, and then grenade kickstart is pretty key down here. So as soon as you throw your grenade, you get 15% of it back, and then elemental armaments, so increased damage. Font of light, increased damage from picking up a matching well to your subclass, and we'll talk about further the synergy between all of this. And that one's picking up a well, gives you super energy. And this one, defeating combatants with explosive damage triggers solar wells, or matching well to your subclass. So, and particle deconstruction, which just synergizes well for the overall DPS of the build. So those are all the mods. I'm using Thorn as one variation of the build because Thorn works with necrotic grips, if you didn't know, and Bottom Tree Dawnblade. So the igniting touch is really the star of the show, where when you defeat enemies that are burning, it causes an explosion. Really, really powerful stuff. So yeah, that was the first gameplay you saw. Now I'm actually using Sunshot. Kind of switched it up. Now Sunshot alone is fantastic. It's a exotic energy weapon, energy hand cannon, and then I'm pairing it just with a SMG. Nothing crazy. There could be more synergy here as well, which I'll get into in a little bit. But essentially, your goal is to create solar explosions, and you can do that with your grenade, your melee, or a Sunshot, of course, and that will drop wells that match your subclass, which are solar. And then all the mods I showed you in the beginning are in order to increase my damage, as you'll see on the side. In addition to that, igniting touch also works with your super. So as I'm popping Bottom Tree Dawn there, you see the poison is just going from enemy to enemy. Yeah, so all of the explosions, all of the multi-kills, dropping wells. When I'm picking up wells, I'm getting increased regeneration of my abilities. Specifically, I'm going for grenade build here. You could certainly do it more focused around a melee. As you can see, I'm picking up those wells. You'll see I'll get a bump to grenade energy. And you can see all the wells there. I don't end up going to pick all of them up. So I'm not only getting grenade energy for every kill, or every well I pick up, sorry. I'm also getting super energy. It's a little tick up on the super bar, you'll notice when I do step over them. And there are more ways to synergize this build to make it even stronger too. But the amount of wells, I thought this was a great place to really showcase what the build can do in optimal conditions. There's not really, other than certain activities and raids, where you're going to encounter this kind of enemy density, but still super fun nonetheless. So this is actually my favorite variation of the build, is the grenade variation with Sunshot. Now, because it's a grenade variation, you want to run high discipline, and then something else you can do, whether you're running Sunshot or not, is the other weapon you have. For instance, if I'm using Sunshot, I can have let's say a sidearm, with Demolitionist and Osmosis, which is something really strong. So as I throw my grenade, it turns solar, and then it's also going to produce wells for me, but it also is going to give me my grenade back on kills. I didn't do that for this particular build. I just really wanted to get it out there that Currently, Necrotic Grips works with the bottom tree Dawnblade and your abilities, including your super. So just that synergy alone can create some powerful stuff, explosions, as you'll see in the continue to see in the background gameplay here. Coming up shortly in the video, absolute decimate this group of ads, which is super satisfying, and it's a perfect showcase of what this build can actually do. And my game actually started slowing down. The amount of kills I was getting, it was crazy. I'm definitely going to be tweaking this build to see if there's some other variations that are just as fun or just as strong. I can already think of a few. You know, with the new perk Adrenaline Junkie, that could certainly come into play. And right here it is. So throw my grenade down and just, I'm focused on this guy briefly, but then watch the ticks. We just, look at that. Explosions, poison, poison, explosions. And it's perfect because as some die, some enemies spawn in, so they get the poison. And it just completely annihilates the whole crowd there. So much fun. I still think Battlegrounds is a great activity. It's great enemy density, which is super fun to just slay out with abilities. So as you can see, it worked there beautifully. And really at the core of this build, it's nothing crazy. It's just a bottom tree Dawnblade, igniting touch, pairing extremely well with your abilities alone. And then I would just recommend skewing it towards either melee or grenade. And then you can pick up the, you know, well mods that are associated with solar and kind of tweak it to whatever your playstyle, which is really nice. I'm using the grenade one here, so picking up a well gives me additional grenade energy, but there is melee Kickstarter as well, so you know, you deplete your melee, you automatically get some back, and then when you pick up a matching well, you get some more melee back, so that could be a really strong build as well. To have some fun in PvE. And I also ran this in strikes, and currently when I was running this, it was Grenadier and Solar Burn, so that was just insanely strong and fun. But I'm going to finish out the gameplay here and just show you how fast we kill. There's also a Titan in here running like a Dune Marcher build for PvE, which is very strong on bottom tree Striker. But just kind of let the world burn, get my abilities back very fast, and unfortunately I wasn't able to spec tier 10 melee cooldown or grenade cooldown, so it can clearly be better optimized than it is. And then just getting kill after kill. I don't really pick up wells here, unfortunately, like I should be, but still a great build. I mean, you've got to try it out. I did play it in Battlegrounds, PvE, or Strikes, excuse me, Gambit. I tried it in Harbor of Sorrow. I tried it in some 1320, what are they called? Not caves, dungeons. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this Warlock build for Season 15. I don't think Bungie's going to adjust it at all. I think the fun factor's there. It's not, at least in my mind, overpowered or anything. The synergy it has is so much fun. That's what I really want in the game, is more capability to make builds like this. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys try it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.